Good morning. I'm trying to figure out the screen over here, so it might not be the great quality. So I'm going to play some music, grab a coffee, and let's jump into our business today. So let me see, what do I choose for today? Happy music. Sure, let's go with some happy music. Let's go with this one. Hi guys! Hopefully everybody is either in the spring or getting ready for the spring. Where I am, there's like not much of the spring yet, just slowly budding out. I guess it's expected in the next 2 weeks. How yucky is that? Every single year I feel very sluggish and very depressed around this time. Also, as you noticed, I have managed to make the screen to be a full screen, so I am so happy. I just spent the last 45 minutes trying to figure it out, and it is telling me that I have Very, very bad resolution, but let's hope this is going to work. Good morning, Barbie, Kelsey, Lynn, Knitting Yogi, Kylie, Lorna. Hopefully more of us come across and kind of like work it out. So without further ado, guys, tell me if you watched Depp and Heard trial. I did, and it made me very, I guess, depressed and sad. It's just like, I mean, pardon my language, shit flying everywhere. So let's see what is behind it, because I can totally see how a young impression woman marrying celebrity is seeing this as a gateway, but she's not ready to bargain with all of that alcoholism and drugs. And I don't think that there is any person who would actually find it easy, especially for somebody, I believe she was very young at that stage. I know that currently the media is not in her favor, and her testimony definitely looked very inauthentic, to say the least. I was really kind of like stumbling through that very descriptive, very flavory kind of like a things. So I decided to get it out of my system and just to see what is going on in there. And then right after we are going to just go in a quick messages, like a couple of cards for each sign, and see where this takes us, because we are also just ahead of Scorpio eclipse, which is not going to be fun for most of us. It's going to be felt mostly by the fixed signs, especially Scorpio and Taurus, because they are on the same axis. And then for Leo and us Aquarius. Lovely. So that means it's basically what we just started the process right now. Whatever it was our decision, maybe your decision just a few days ago, a week ago was, you know what, I need to spend more time in the garden. I need to spend more time with my loved ones. I want to go back and finish this and that. It just kind of like, it percolated for most of us. So I really think what's going to be happening right now, this is going to be, are you sure? Are you sure? It's going to be the test. It's going to be what I call it hazing, major hazing, kind of like to test our resolve in that thing. And I agree, Lorna, this is kind of like sad, but it's also, I think, very beneficial for the rest of us, because maybe we have to stop this celebrity worship. These people are just people like us, in most cases worse, way worse people than we are. And just like shows that like with all that money they are still living in some kind of like imprisoned world, and that's kind of like not fun. So what I did here, I prepared few decks. I'm still trying to feel kind of like where to go. This was my initial thought. I couldn't find it. So instead of this, I took Vice Versa and Osho Zen and Karma. So I really don't want to go into too much of this. I'll be really honest. It's very traumatic. It's highly codependent relationship. And like I have to say, I was very affected, almost like depressed by listening to this recounts, and even if they are not true, like they have been horrific. And if somebody's even inventing them, this is also horrific. So it's just like the whole situation was really hard for me to even absorb. So logically, my coaching mind, my therapist mind would say, you know what, I am not sitting on any of the side of this. I don't know, what are your takes, guys, on it? And I think he's going to lose. I think she's going to lose. And it's going to just leave us all better off knowing that, you know what, we should not be, you know, wanting something that is out of reach because it's not something there. In Canada also, we have very similar lawsuit happening right now with Jacob Hoggard. He was a winner. He's like the frontman, or was the frontman of the rock band Headley. He was one of the winners, or like the runner-up in American Idol Canada, which was like similar to Adam Lambert and thing. and it looks like he had a taste for very, very young girls, and so he was accused of rape, and the court process is going on right now. Yeah, Kylie, it was like really enormous. Like I was like literally yesterday sleeping, the whole day I was sleeping. I was like, I mean, talking to Audrey, and I thought I had COVID. I had sore throat and I had fatigue, and I think it was just that energy that really got to me, because I'm feeling not much better, but I'm feeling better today. So let's see if I'm getting any messages. Maybe you're hearing, maybe you're not hearing. So I'm going to put this on vibe, because it kind of like just takes me off. And so let's start. So first and foremost, I want to check one card for each of them and see. So I'm going to take one card of these, one card of these, and one card of these, and see. So let's put Johnny Depp on this side, and let's put Amber Heard on this side. So let's see what we can do. Can you give me, okay, so this is Johnny Depp, and one for Amber Heard. Oops, I got 3 over here, so I guess I have to take it. And over here, let's go Johnny Depp. Hello, Ikat. I'm not interested in somebody else's dirty laundry. Too much pain for all. But like, isn't this like, I mean, a little part of us making us think, oh, I'm so much better off the way I am, and my life is far from perfect. But like, don't you kind of like have these thoughts coming through a little bit? I kind of like do feel it. So let's see. So we'll have it here, and like for Amber, this one, interestingly enough, I picked the card is called Creation. Does this mean that she's creating something? And why is this little crooked? Let's see if I can make it a little bit better. I am so pleased with myself that I actually managed to finally get this whole screen, because it felt so congested in a tiny little window. And let's see. Why I'm not surprised that the codependence is coming through. Like, I mean, you know, the only thing I really have to say that he was coming across as a person who said, here are all my words. I am very flawed human being, but I am not an abuser, right? Where she kind of like couldn't have a focus on what is her story, and that I think was very confusing to me. So let's reveal to see what we have. For him, whoa, we have Judgment. And look at this tremendous kind of like Judgment card. And then we have Instinct. And then we have Conditioning. So it kind of like sounds to me, I mean, guys, please feel free to chime in. But it sounds to me that he is fighting for his life. Like the Judgment, and it's upright, that he wants to release all the demons. I have a feeling that he thought this is going to bring clarity. And by the way, do you guys think that little coffee mug that he has is just full of coffee, or that it has something much, much stronger in it? Because that's what it tells me. He's going right back into that conditioning over here. And I got this like beautiful story once from somebody who kind of like saw this card and said, okay, let's talk about his story, right? Let's talk about his lion, right? And let's kind of like go in there. So let me, before I go into in the matter, get here. So we have High Priestess, we have the Emperor. So she's Taurus. Is she May Taurus or she April Taurus? Can somebody look it up? And then the Hermit was reversed. So she has really hard time being alone. And I think with him leaving all the time, that kind of like probably was a triggered situation. It can be probably seen that way. So she has Creation, and then she has Ordinariness. It's really interesting because I'm just looking here, fire, water. This is really Neptune over here. And so she did have certain dominance over him, and this is also water, and I think this is where they emotionally really connect. But she clearly feels that she is in charge. She's in charge because like it was one psychologist, the one who quote unquote reviewed her, who said that she has borderline and histrionic disorder. So borderline is the people who are it's not really psychopath, but it's on its way there, kind of like you really have exaggeration of your needs and wants. So it's like you will be bipolar, will be psychopath, and that will be somewhere in the middle. Histrionic is the person who needs to show off, who needs to be the center of attention. So we are talking about the popular girls in schools, etc., etc., right? Um, which is really interesting because I can see here that he is fighting his demons, and she, like, look at these two cards. She's actually feeling very, very powerful, and there are clearly two different clans. There are clan Johnny, and there is a clan Amber that kind of like really goes in that direction. So this is pretty much how I saw him. I don't know about you guys. So she is April Taurus. That's what I thought, because I thought this is representing her. Who did it? Kylie, thank you so much. So that makes sense. So this is representing her, absolutely. So what do we have here? We have a 6. So she wants to show herself as a very loving person, which is interesting. Well, this is a 6 as well, but it's a dark side of the 6. 6s are generally lovey-dovey numbers, and they deal with relationships, so the both of them came through. It is about the relationship. So judgment also, just let's not get it idolized. Judgment is also the karma that we kind of like carry in this life. So when this kind of like shows up upright, it's really talking about us needing to kind of like move forward. And like I think this eclipse and this kind of like pause, it's very hard when you're like right in a lawsuit with somebody. You kind of like don't have great ability to move forward because you have to rehash the things, and I think they're going back to 2013, 2014. So this is being stuck. This is being stuck in time for such a long time, and I really don't envy them, like, right? And that's why when people piss me off and I'm thinking, oh, you know what, I should really sue you, I always think through if I really should, because you need to be connected to them and you're giving them the power. So let me tell you this old Zen story over here, and it is like about the lion who kind of like was brought up by the sheep, and who thought he was a sheep, right? And so one day, like, I mean, he's running around with the sheep, and he's face to face with another lion, right? And the lion is looking at him, is telling him, what the hell are you doing? What's wrong with you, kind of a thing, right? So the lion sheep is not understanding what is he talking about. So he's dragging him while this lion is terrified, thinking like he's going to be quote unquote sacrificial lamb. He's dragging him to the pond to see his reflection, right? So he sees that they are actually looking the same, right? And you know, it's just kind of like realization, oh my God, I'm something different. I actually have to be different in order to move forward, right? So many of us are like this lion, right? So the image that we have of ourselves kind of like comes not from our own direct experience, but from the opinion of others. And so I'm wondering if this is showing up that he's playing into that stereotypes, because he obviously has a good sense of humor. People always relate to people who are able to kind of like joke around. And hence we went from this easy breezy, John is all great, to this horrifying testimony. So I'm wondering if this is really showing up for that. Because or maybe he's feeling that he, with her, became a sheep, which is really interesting, because we also have a wolf over here, an instinct. And this is like really interesting to me, because and that's why I took Deviant Moon, because Deviant Moon is really kind of like Deviant deck. But look, both of them are quote unquote close to God. Both of them are in a crown chakra, her with creation and him with instinct. Maybe that's a celebrity culture. Maybe they are better than us. Maybe they have been chosen to live this life of infallibility, which is kind of like, as we see, not really all roses, right? So for him, I guess it looks to me that both of them need to acknowledge who they truly are. And I don't think that they actually really know it. They kind of like um, they see themselves through how other people perceive them, right? So this is kind of like really interesting that for him, he has lost a big part of himself and he needs to release something over here in order to kind of like move forward. This is clearly her showing up in this emperor, so she has this control, and it looks like she really wanted to control this relationship or the outcome of it, which is interesting. The hermit is reversing, so it's talking about being not being wise, right? It's interestingly also that in this deck he has, it can be seen as a lantern, but like, I mean, I don't know if you guys see that this could be also the hourglass, that something is coming up over here, right? So it's also interesting how this ordinariness is contrasting his conditioning. So ordinary is like, I mean, just be happy, just being in the moment, just smell the roses, kind of like do these things. So pay attention to the details, which is really important. I don't know if you guys seen, like, I mean, there were like, I mean, times that she was trying to wipe off her tears and the nose, but she would pose. So instead of like going ahead with this, she would pose for the camera. You could see the flash, and then she would continue. So as I don't know the entire thing that happened, I just don't want to kind of like jump to judgment, but it just really didn't really look good. That's for sure. Let's see, April 22nd. Wow, so she is the border, so she's the cusp. I'm wondering if her Aries is being actually activated here. So let me see. So that's 222. So that's 6, 16, 22. So she's 3. Anybody can give me Johnny's birthday so we can see numerology. He's a Gemini with Capricorn moon. Okay, so he knows business and it is really important to him. Does he need rehab? Oh yeah, like, I mean, even the stuff and like it was few scenes that everything was like written on the stuff, and even if he didn't touch her, like just imagine being in that atmosphere and you're surrounded with his yes men. You basically have no rights. It's just not a good situation to be. So it does make sense that the kids are probably not often there, and but I also read what's her name, the one from Jennifer Grey. She was in Dirty Dancing and they used to date, and she apparently a long time ago, it was way before the trial, released in her memoirs how jealous he was and how controlling he was, because this is controlling thing as well, and it looks like that's kind of like something they had, like this is 20 and 2, so this is also balancing this energy here as well. So let me see. Johnny reminds me of a little boy. Trauma can stunt your growth and maturity. He doesn't know what he wants. Look at this. We have the 7 of Cups, which is interesting because vice versa has these 2 sides, as you guys know. And here he's seeing something. He's seeing a solution. So it's none of the things he has. But here he's still wondering in which direction he has to go. So this is showing the utter confusion in the matter. So he... keep in mind that probably he can hire better lawyers as well, which is really interesting. Like now she's getting the 7 of Pentacles, right? And here this was 8 of Pentacles, right? It's almost like identical if you really think about this card, except everything really looks gray. So this is kind of like really, these 2 cards to me, they're connecting. This is really talking about, am I getting what I signed up for, right? And am I on the right path? Because she clearly, like, she's getting Pentacles. To her, this is all about money. And to him, it is about sorting certain things out. Sorting, I guess, his karma, sorting his... this is karma card, right? Let's be kind of like really clear about it. It's really confusing to me about this instinct and creation, because this is very shamanic card, and this is talking about, you know, somebody who is very insecure. So she's a shaman. She can do anything. She can create a world, kind of like if you really think about it. But um, it is also about the art form and making things beautiful. Um, it's waiting for somebody else for some kind of like permission, right? As well. Um, it's also divine feminine, which I think she might be. Um, some people say she's very pretty. Like, I mean, it is neither here nor there. Um, to me, she's not dazzling, even though apparently she should be the prettiest person on this planet, how symmetrical she is. Um, but here it tells me that there's like only kind of like the shell, that there is a transformation that really needs to happen of some sort, right? Because that's about creativity, and I think she did say that she was painting and doing stuff. So she's looks like finding her way that way. Well, instinct is sort of like there is a guide inside of us, that we have the instincts um, that are there, but we are doubting them. So it looks like two of them have been fueling that self-doubt to each other, and that kind of like went out of proportion as it did. But for him, wow, given how much he wants to be in a relationship, this is more or less indicating solitary journey, finding himself, facing his own demons, figuring out what he wants, right? And for her, she needs to kind of like sort her things out. Because in the trial, she wanted to present herself how everything is nice, everything is great, and that she had a nice upbringing, which all the psychologists agreed that that was not the case, and it was kind of like really confusing. So let me get Deviant Moon. This is really going to tell us. Magician card is not for Gemini. Magician card is Mercury, which technically, yes, it can rule Gemini, but the real Gemini card is Lovers, and also well, this would be Capricorn, but that's the dark side of it, right? So just think about that, right? Amber reminds me of a vengeful, angry girl wanting to destroy him. She has violent history with a few of her exes before Johnny. So if she was abused as a child, then she would be very reactive. But just think about it, the people who also use drugs, they are also soothing their pain, right? Because why else would you use drugs if you can read a book and entertain yourself? So there is like something going on there as well. So now let's see this dark side, very, very dark side, what gets to us. Whoa, and look at it, he got his Lovers. So he has this both good and bad side. Actually, that confirms what she was saying. When it was good, it was great. When it wasn't good, it was horrible. Like, I mean, the monster will come out. Which is really interesting. We do see this little snake coming through, possessing all the time, kind of a thing. And let's see what darkness. Interesting was also the moon here. What for her? For her, we have the Ace of Wands reversed. But look at here, it does come with a child. Ace of Wands to me is always about the new beginnings, except when it reverses. And almost like that was also that struck me, listening to that testimony, that she was addressing him. She was trying to provoke emotions in him because there is like still something going on there, right? But it's not able to start. Like, Ace of Wands is such a good card. It's such a good card of new beginnings, except when it reverses, then it says you're just like you're beating, like, I mean, something that has been done long time ago, right? So that's right, Kylie. They had this violent childhoods, and that all, like, on the surface looks like they will be healing each other, but like, you're not supposed to involve yourself with a person who had a similar background, because you need to find a pair for yourself, somebody who has a soft place to fall, who is not going to be reactive, right? Let's see a couple of more here that fell on her. The Hierophant. The marriage was very important to her, and to him was love. See, that was his Queen of Pentacles. He did really wanted her for his life. And why would somebody want Queen of Pentacles? He kind of like did see her pulled together. Queen of Pentacles is the beautiful one, so that would be Taurus. It's interesting, he did see Taurus in her, but like I'm more and more picking that she is, so she's a Cuspi, clearly, right? And, but what, she's a Taurus 1 degree or something? Can somebody check her natal chart? Or even less than 1 degree, because it feels for me that she's really retracting back to Aries. And since Aries is like kind of like really not her thing, her being really Taurus, it starts to flare up all of these angers. So he is getting the air and earth over here. She's getting a fire and earth, and scorched earth really comes to mind when you kind of like talk about it, because Hierophant is all about making things right, and it is also about Taurus. It's really interesting. Now we have both Aries and we have Taurus over here, right? Yeah, Barbie, sometimes you don't repeat the violence, but the reason why you don't repeat it is because you clear it in your own head, right? You dealt with this, and hence, and that's kind of like that sounded to me that he walks away from an argument that possibly for him is the way to handle the situation. Let me walk away, and I don't want to deal with this. And she was not on that level, being his 25 years junior, so she was still working through her issues, and it just didn't match. It always felt that the Lego blocks are not fitting together at all, and that certain things cannot just jive, not at all. So let me pull a couple of more karma cards over here, because I think I have a really clear idea. Release. Wow. And this is like a self-talk. I think to him, what is this all triggering is like that huge self-doubt that he's not worth it. And I think this is what he had to go through it. And for that, we should give him credit that he's going through all of that so publicly, right? That it could be embarrassment, it could be a loss. In fact, for sure it's going to be a loss, because it's so hard to prove, because she just has to show one picture and say I was abused, and that's the end of the story, right? But it is what he's doing is rather the other court that he's currently handling, which is the court of the public opinion, trying to recover himself. But the truth is, he should really work on himself more than anything else. And it looks like, oh my gosh, he tried going through these rehabs and everything, and you're making like yourself wonder, like with all this money, you can literally pay somebody to imprison you in the room for 30 days. It's going to be horrible, but you will be done with it, over, and it's going to kind of like continue going further, right? So see, Barbie, that's good for you. I'm so proud of you, because me and my brother both came from a really unstable kind of like parental guidance, let's put it this way, and neither of us really repeated kind of like going it down. So an impasse, kind of like there is a reason why certain things cannot continue, and that reason is you need to find a different way. And I don't think that she is there yet. It looks like, I don't know if you know, she had this artificial insemination, and she got herself a child, and it's very, very hard to kind of like be in that situation now that this is all not really working out over here, right? So what I would say, guys, over here, I mean, this is clearly not a black and white situation that we are seeing over here. Eckhart, I think if you go in the, Eckhart is asking where do we get their charts, right? So you can just go down. You can go down, and I have these Astro something natal charts, but like you need to first figure out what are their birthdays in order to get all of that information. So look, he's still releasing himself in a really, really high end. So Johnny Depp is a highly evolved soul. She's also evolved soul. Like, I mean, they're both chosen to be in those roles. So let's not kid yourself with that. but she was supposed to get in touch with herself. Like, I mean, this high priestess, the whole idea of high priestess is like feeling it from inside and not really speaking out, dealing with your inner internal world and probably gaining a control over that, right? And wisdom, but like that wisdom is just like a complete failure in this particular case, right? So for him, he needs to release it, and for her, this impasse is she kind of like, if she sees this all as an ending, which probably is going to end both of their careers after this. Oh my gosh, we cannot watch them on the screen anymore in the role without thinking about this. So this is the end, absolutely. And for him, he's already rich. For her, well, it's going to be really interesting because her path is blocked. It's going to be about her being able to surrender, for her to be able to be adaptable, right? And for her to be able to actually really control her reactions, because Ace of Wands could be reactions as well. But release is like different. Release is like dealing with the internal pain, really lots of pain. The story here is this person is going through the graveyard and listening, everybody blaming it on her and telling her these horrible things, like through the wind moving, right? And so she's feeling very very kind of like shameful that everybody's feeling that everything that happened to them is her fault, right? But then she realizes at one point, okay, I'm making myself miserable, right? And that makes her change her attitude. There is like this paradigm shift that is really happening, and so there is like this release of blame, and I think this is what he wants to accomplish. He kind of like again, this should be personal responsibility, accepting what you are guilty of, right? And you cannot move forward, and she cannot move forward. So it's really interesting how karmically they're really linked, because to certain respect, this is the healing of a family origin, right? Can I ready to face my past and let go? This also talks about righteous anger. So he clearly feels very justified that he's going that, but he's also talking about a change in consciousness and connects to this judgment here as well. So this is about discovery. It's also about healing. But for her, it's kind of like a saving grace, because it would just go, because the story here is like the couple is coming and they're trying to get through the forest, and this person is blocking them. They cannot continue, right? So what's going on? Like, I mean, this is a shortcut. Like, I mean, you just cannot take this long path. No, you cannot pass, he says. So they go a long way around. And by the time they get there, they realize that the whole freaking mountain fell apart, and they would basically die if he actually didn't save them. So this is about the blocked path, but you know that the goal is still not there, and you're trying to push through, and you just really can't. So this is about being focused and finding another path, right? And it's also indicating some kind of delays and change of direction. So I have a feeling that she will be shifting, because even now there are people saying that she had very different stories as it is in the court, that this was not brought before. There are always inconsistencies, but that's normal, right? Like, you just cannot have photographic memory, and especially if you say something once and this is all happening. I am not really blaming her, but here I can clearly see that both of them have lots of work to do. He's more positive, even though he's confused. This is positive. She's coming through as being told, you need to ground yourself, lady. For him, the codependency, release, and judgment is really standing through, very important. For her, she needs to find, so this is upright, so this is morality, which is good. So she kind of like has the concept of it, but there is like also something that didn't mature properly with her. So it is about money for her, I really have to say that. And she wants to find the shortcut and the shortest kind of like thing. I don't think she will, though, because it's not going to work out the way she envisioned. So that's what I see. So let me see the comments over here. Hello, Creative Guru. Coffee is good. Hello, Heidi. like and share. Thank you, Barbie. Takes two to tango. He was still partnered with Vanessa Paradis with kids when they started an affair filming the Rum Diary. He left Vanessa for Amber. I'm not so sure, because I have to tell you that Vanessa Paradis, and I grew up with Vanessa Paradis songs. Joe the Taxi, I don't know if you ever didn't listen. Kind of like, it would kind of like be fun. She was a singer, she's a model, I don't know if she's an actress. And she has this like weird Madonna look with that space in her teeth. So she is unconventionally beautiful. So she didn't really need Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp was like, in Europe, they didn't really look at celebrities the same way. Celebrities in North America, like royalty, in Europe they're not, right? So it's not that she needed him for any other reason. In fact, maybe her star was much brighter than it was his star, and it was interesting. So there were rumors like already that his drinking is not working well with the marriage. So I have a feeling that marriage is falling apart. But you're correct. He should be not poop where he eats, and he should have finished that first before doing anything else. So this is very sad. I needed to get it out of my system to kind of like see what is happening, and if anything, it's telling us that it's really not a black and white situation, that one wants to take advantage of the another one. There's lots of back and forth, but that both of them play the higher role, even for all of us, that we need to find out, that they need to find themselves out, and they can actually be a beacon for all of us if they're able to continue in that direction. But will they? That's going to be a big question, right? I kind of like have a really high doubts. He's like, what, his late 50s, so it's not easy to teach kind of like old dogs new tricks, that's for sure, right? And she has a life ahead of her. It's just going to be something else, not acting, and that's going to be really interesting. Maybe she can become a painter, and that would be a really good way for therapy to express everything she needs to express. I mean, she's richer than most of us were at that stage of the life, so I think if she's okay doing that, that kind of like would work out. So we are going to our stuff next. So because we had 40 minutes of this, and then didn't realize, like, I could have gone with this forever. It's just like my energy, as I told you, is a little bit lower, and probably because of that freaking lawsuit. I just really want to have enough energy for all the signs equally. So we are going to go with the Taurus first, because it's Happy Taurus birthday. So this is going to be the next. You can guys guess it, and it's the same story. Like, I mean, if you guess it, you get your card drawn for you, and we go in that direction. So I need to have a little sip of coffee. Didn't build on solid ground, and well, that's for sure. That's an understatement, Barbie, that they didn't do it well. So let me see which cards I'm going to use for the reading. I did actually get two other decks here, and maybe I'll get one of them. Let's get light seers for their signs, and then I'll read. I have the another one, Raphaelite Tarot, for if you guys win. And for the doors, we are going to be using this beautiful deck over here. So many decks. Is going to be a big cleaning after that. So let me just put here. So we're going with Taurus, which is interesting. This is also her sign. And you can guys guess to see which one is next, and we can go with that. Let's make more room. So Taurus, what's going to be happening? So we have Two of Pentacles and Ace of Swords, but both of them are reversed. So Ace of Swords is a karma card. It's a victory card. It really talks. Look at how beautiful this is with a stairwell. It's a Fibonacci. It's the origin of life, and the light is coming through, right? So it is kind of like cutting through basically bullshit and kind of moving into some completely different thing. And it, I don't know if does it show the directions and the cells and infinity, and it's even showing Mercury over here. It's very complex if you really look at it, but it's reversed. So when the Ace of Swords reverses, like we almost kind of like we self-harm. There are like certain kind of like ways of doing it, and there is like something about cheating. Ouch, this is really not good timing for the birthday kind of like thing. It's kind of like there's like a tendency that you want to cheer up, that you want to have fun, that you want to do stuff, but ultimately there's like something happening here that is really kind of like pushing you in a category where you don't want to be. So whether this is like being indecisive or somebody not giving, I guess, the direction, whatever you need to kind of like have in the meantime. But there's like something that is kind of like painful. So be very careful, because if anything happens here within the next couple of weeks, you are the master of your own destiny. You are actually doing it to yourself, my dear Taurus. So you shouldn't be you shouldn't be like blaming out or pointing fingers, because that's ultimately going in your direction. So let me see, you guys did guess Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aries, Leo, Gemini. Oh, am I doing sign icons today? Yes, I am. Just thanks for reminding me. So let me see what is the... Ooh, Aries. Who guessed? Somebody did guess Aries, didn't it? So let me put Aries here, and I'll draw the next one here. We'll just go back to the other screen. Who's the winner? Who is the winner? Kylie. Kylie. Good for you. Kylie, let's see. You already get something. Ooh, look at this. You're getting the devil reversed. So it has been something either financial or like there was like some kind of shortcut you wanted to have, or you wanted to have a quick patch of the situation, and you're realizing that things need to be slow and steady, kind of like wins the race, because you're getting out of feeling uncomfortable, you're getting out of feeling stuck situation, and this is kind of like really going in a much better direction, because in this direction it goes back toward love, it goes back toward light, right? So this is kind of like really a good thing, but it's still warning you about some level of, I guess, codependency, or some level of kind of beware of dealing with things in improper manner, because it's ultimately not going to help you out, right? So that's what it says. Okay, so let's go Aries. So Aries is, let's see, Aries. 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 So we have, whoa, 10 of Cups. Isn't that the loveliest freaking card ever? And this one wants to come out, and it's 8 of Swords. Holy shit. How is this possible? I'm wondering if this is talking about that Scorpio eclipse over here, because this talk, like, it cannot be as, it's as different as it gets, really, right? So this is the card about the happiness, about connectivity with the family, with everybody, right? And this is talking about being an outsider, like, I mean, not being able to kind of like cross that bridge. So what happened that we go from this to this? Like, I mean, is this some kind of an internal turmoil? Is there somebody on the outside messing it up? Because this is clearly talking about, look at her, she is just regular lady, but she sees herself as tied down and not being able to move. So what is happening? Something is happening in your life that is immobilizing you, for sure. It could be also that you're dealing with circumstances that are, like, say, somebody's jealousy, that you're dealing with issues of that you're being told things that you really don't know what to make out of them. So it could be a gossip. It could be somebody who has an upper hand over you. It could be somebody at work. It could be if you are in a relationship with somebody that they have a dark side as well, and that is going to come out. So if that's the case, the latter explanation, please do really think through this, because this is really telling you that, like, I mean, basically, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Dr. What do you call it? Hyde, and I'm just like losing it. They're like these two sides of the personality that can be triggered, but it's everything is easy when we get along, but when this darkness comes, then it's really, really difficult to deal with this, right? Okay, so let's see who is next. Let's see who is next. We have Taurus. We read Taurus, so this one doesn't apply. So you guys are still in the game. So this is going to be for this, and that's going to be for the next one to guess. Isn't this better when we have a little bit bigger screen? And the next one is Virgo. Virgo, let's put your thing here and go back on the screen. Who guessed Virgo? Of course, anything Yogi guessed it. So let's see, Yogi, what I have for you here. Ooh. You have also 8 of Swords, but you have 6 of Swords. 8 of Swords is reversed. So that's some kind of like blockade of progressing. It's feeling trapped in a situation that is not your own making, but you're saddled with something that that you don't know how to resolve, and you're perceiving the world as possible, okay, enemies or something. But there is like something, there's a solution that is coming through. Interestingly, it's all kind of like coming through a very cerebral kind of like way, thinking through, analyzing. This is not necessarily reaching destination, but it's still very positive, right? Like, I mean, finding people who are supportive of you, finding, so there is a child here, so it could be either a literal child or something through a child, or it could be your brainchild or something that is coming through. So something that felt like a block, now it's no longer blocked. So maybe also can talk about something that you tried before and it didn't work, and now it can work. So it's worthwhile trying it, which is, again, it's linking to something that you love, that you really want, and it is very, very important. Okay, Chris, we trust you. We trust you. I'll get you Virgo. Get the card for you, Chris, as well. Which is really hard to guess at this stage. Ooh, Chris, you are getting the Queen of Cups reverse. That's your Scorpio, and the Lovers. So are you still dealing with that? Is it still going through your head? There's like some unresolved things. It's something that basically somebody wanted commitment and the commitment was not happening, and all the cups, like all the love, it just like leaks out, right, when she's reversed. It could be overly emotional, and it could be that simply when needs are not met, that people start acting out of their personality as well. It also shows that she is grabbing him and he is kind of like running away in this particular deck, isn't it, as well? So maybe it sounds like you are the one who didn't want to commit, to be honest with you, and maybe she kind of like gave you her 2 cents out of it, but I can see that things haven't been resolved over here. It is about love. There's like still the seed is there. The seed is still existing on both sides. So maybe something that you might consider revisiting for sure. If nothing else, just one more time to kind of like know where you are, and that kind of like to continue with that. No contact since July. Wow, that has been a long time. It has been a long time, but this has not finished fully, right? It's like the door when you want to close it, but it's just still ajar, kind of a thing. So were you guys guessing for the next round? So no, I'm actually doing Virgo right now. Let's do the Virgo. Let's put the stamp here. I almost like bypassed you guys. I didn't get used to that you guys getting so good at this guessing. Really, really so proud of you. So Virgo, this one wants to come out. Whoa, King of Cups. This one is so lovely. And 10 of Wands. I just know like which way to take it. This 10 of Wands, it came really sideways, so that's going to kind of like be something. So King of Cups is that ideal mate, somebody who really emotional understands you. Like we want different types of mates at different times of our lives, right? So King of Cups is more becoming appealing in the latter part of our lives. We really want somebody soulful, somebody understanding, somebody not judgmental, kind of like a thing over here, right? But it looks like there is like a way to this person, but look at his heart is radiating everywhere. So he is somewhere, like I think there could be somebody in the coastal region of some sort, somebody very shamanic, somebody very much into this new age metaphysics. So definitely you guys here liking this metaphysics. So there's like somebody who is like, I mean, kindred, kind of like a soul here as well. And then 10 of Wands is really different variation over here. It does talk about carrying lots of baggage as well. But it is kind of like a path, and path that actually does have the light around it. So there is a decision to kind of like move in a completely different direction no matter what. So it's not going to be easy. It might be hard, but it is very enthusiastic. It's really interesting that we have like this cow or bull over here. So this will be Pisces, I guess. I guess we can see Taurus here as well. Both Pisces is not. It's a very difficult partner to have because they do have this ability to be the soft place to fall, but for everybody. So let's say you have your enemy, they will understand them as well, and people also want to be understood by thinking that this person has the same attitude as they do versus somebody being universally that way. So this can be really interesting. If you're looking for somebody, you're going to find somebody who is really kindred spirit, but it looks like this is not going to be your final destination, and it's going to be really, really hard to kind of like leave this person behind. But it looks like that's something that is really, really happening, and it's a really difficult decision to make because you're feeling, oh my gosh, there's like nothing really that I can say or justify why I am doing that, but I have to do it. So 10 of Wands is also advising to not to feel scared of the weight, but maybe just organize your steps in a more kind of like productive way, and how you kind of like move forward, as that is going to be very important on your journey. Okay, so let's see over here who is next. You guys feel free to guess. We have a little bit less delay today, I think. And this one is Leo. So we have Leo. We'll see if anybody guessed. I'm going to put the next one over there. And let's put the Leo and see. We were talking about Virgo, yes, and Barbie guessed Leo, so that's the Leo. That's, yeah, she's guessing Leo all along. So this is Barbie, Barbie getting her thing. Barbie, you didn't tell us anything. Did you hear from your lawyers? It is you, and you're getting like Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is always like about imbalance of some sort. Or Three of Pentacles, it's like people are not playing ball with you for some reason. You're asking for some justice, you're asking for some truth, but it's more in terms of morality than what is, let's say, in the law books, right? So for example, it's my example that neighbors shouldn't be cutting the freaking mowing lawn at 8 o'clock on the weekends. This is just a simple, to me, no kind of like question ask. But this is not self-evident to everybody. So just like asking for this niceties, would that sound good? And it's kind of like really not happening. It's really interesting here that the artists feel that there's something missing over here, right? So it's a 5. It's some kind of like imbalance that is really happening at this stage, Barbie, but it's about money. So somebody be careful, do the proper follow-up and everything, because somebody's dropping the ball. This is possibility of kind of like getting, let's say, the full package, because that's one of those cards that are exception and they are like really strong, but they're both reversed for some reason. So you need to kind of like really you need to do the follow-ups, and you need to kind of like chase it. That's really important. So Leo Sun and rising with Virgo Moon, not yet. Well, you need to do some chasing over here and a little bit pressure. And so well, before we did see, let's just let them do their own job. Now it is like, excuse me, remember me, kind of a thing, right? So that needs to be done. Okay, so let's see, Leo. What do we have for you guys? This one wanted to come through. It's 7 of Cups. But look at that little snake leaking out of one of them in a bat. This really reminds me of a story, guys, that I used to know. I don't know why I wanted to get a third one, but I did. The Emperor and the Temperance. And look at how they're clashing over here. He's pulling the chess pieces over here. And that should be Aries, but it's almost looking like Taurus to me, to be really honest with you. So I think, Leo, you really need to look back to that cusp of, so we are talking about April 20th to, let's say, April 30th or April 25th. So there is like something that has been happening at that time that that kind of like made you set new goals and go in your direction, and maybe get out of like indecision paralysis kind of like situation. But there is also going to be something that you're going to encounter, that certain things are just not doable, certain things cannot manifest, and there's going to be really difficult in how you kind of like get them all together. So it's going to be really interesting, because 7 of Cups, it talks about dreaming big dreams, right? But sometimes when you dream big dreams, we send too many confusing messages to the universe, instead of like really kind of like pulling it in and razorly zooming on something. But we are not always ready to have that one dream, right? So the Emperor talks about being in control, knowing what to do, like feeling powerful. But it's not good if something goes with like the plans falling through, or something is not happening, because look at that here. He has the water and the fire, and he's getting wings as a result, creation of some completely new possibilities. But it is reversing, so there's also lots of impatience over here over something that is really happening. I don't know if you have Sagittarius or Aries in your life, because there's lots of fire here that will be happening. Could be some minor flare-ups, minor, not really big arguments, really minor, but enough to make you even get more and more assertive, right? So this is also possible that they will just walk over somebody, because maybe there's like somebody in your life who is wishy-washy, who kind of like you're just getting fed up with their ways, and you might just say, well, you know what, this is how we're going to play this game, and this is what's going to happen. So we'll see. Okay, Ikat, it was nice seeing you. I appreciate that. Hopefully you can come back before we end. So who guessed for this one? What do we have here? What do we have here? We have Cancer, we have Gemini, Gemini, Scorpio. And I'm going to put the one for the next one. We have Libra. I don't think anybody guessed Libra. So it's going to be Libra over here. Libra. Is this even showing? No. Here we go. All right. So is that one? Is this Libra? I just have to. Oh, yes, it is Libra. Just don't want to open the next one, then I just mess up for everybody. We cannot guess it. So Libra. Let me put a timestamp here. Oh boy, what the hell we had the last time, and I just checked all the settings, everything, to try to minimize delay, and I think it's much better today than usual. So, but who knows, because I put them on much lower resolution, the video, so that also would help it stream much faster. So, oh, you're not leaving. Good, good, good. Okay, let me see. Libra. Oh, we have the High Priestess. I was referenced on 7 of Cups card. I see. Okay. And we have the Fool. First of all, Libra, you have two major arcanas, right? So interestingly enough, you have the runes here as well showing around, and that is like the flower of life that is also appearing. So High Priestess is pulling the strength. You need to be internally strong. That's really talking about it. And it's not the time to do anything foolish. This is as clear as day. It is really showing it over here. So do not speak much. Do not share much. Do be careful, really, because anything that you say can be used against you. The Fool is talking about taking a chance. Do not take a chance. Play it safe. So something here is very, very important. But being the both major arcanas, right, this is really telling you that there's really not much you can do here other than, hey, keep your mouth shut, kind of like be happy, and kind of like deal with understanding. So there is like her third eye here, that you will just be able to look at a person, think of the person, like that's my ability, one of the few ones, and you see this like red light flashing, the person is lying, right? Or you get this good idea about the person and you go with that. So I would just advise you, like, I mean, tried and true is the best way going forward for this particular messaging over here. So let's see. Ah, that's what it says, the Eckhart, I understand. So let's see who is next. Are you guys guessing? Are you guys guessing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more before the doors. Let's see. Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius. Let me just blow my nose. It's like some weird disease that I have, like for 2 weeks or so. So I don't know if this is allergy or COVID, but it's just like making me so freaking fatigued, so that is not fun. So let me see. Did anybody guess Scorpio? I don't think we had Scorpio. So we are going Scorpio next. Let's put their icon here. And if Chris is still here, so we'll see what the Scorpio tells us here. So Scorpio, and you have Knight of Cups reversed. This is so weird. It's a Knight of Cups, so it's a romance, something that is not happening. So why you're dreaming about the romance that is not happening, right? Let's see what else. And then you have High Priestess. You're trying to connect to somebody. Like, I mean, Chris, if you are there, I don't know, do we have any Scorpios over here? it looks like the Scorpios are evoking their mate. They're calling their mate spiritually. There is like, I mean, a big focus, and that's why you cannot cut those cords, because they are like energetically being thrown at you. There is like that invocation here happening, but they are like not sure either in all of that, because this Knight of Cups is reversed, right? And it kind of like really has to happen. Over here. So Knight of Cups is literally something that the water sign would just love, and romance and roses, and that's, they're waiting for this big beginning, somebody coming and telling, I do miss you, I do love you, and here are the roses. Roses is a big aspect of this, and they kind of like see it in their own mind's mind. Red roses no less, and somebody kind of like very casual, very spontaneous, and somebody who is also very kind of like innocent. You see, there is like expectations of a letter or something happening, which is really interesting to me, which combined with the High Priestess. And we know that Scorpios have this like really strong powers of emotional kind of like manifestation, and that is really what is happening over here. So guys, if you're thinking about a Scorpio, that is what is happening. You are being called, you're being invoked, kind of like to do something. Okay, Barbie is telling us that we are in the doors time. All right, so let's remove the Scorpio and let's do this. I'm going to shuffle. Think about your question, guys, and pretty much it has to be yes or no. I know I just gave a little bit more definition to it, but try with this. I have the first card. I have the second card. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is this. Oh, okay. And the third card. Okay. So let me remove this and put a timestamp here. So if you pick the door number 1, okay, so you guys are telling me pick the door 2, I picked the door 3. So let's see what we get. The door number 1, you have the Queen of Pentacles. This is going to work out. It's going to feel satisfactory. It's going to feel that it hits the spot. It's going to be freaking awesome. You guys, don't forget to like and share this kind of like stuff. It really helps. We don't have that many people here today, so kind of like that's the very least you can do. So this is a yes, and this is like also benefiting you financially or economically in certain aspect. So the number 2 is, and that's what I was wondering what the hell this is, and I think it will be the King of Wands, and he is reversed. And this pussycat is hissing, and there is like overall the sense of somebody not being in receptive mode. So I have to say, not only that there's going to be no, but there's going to be lots of anger and arguments. So it's almost like do not approach. It's not right timing at all over here. So sorry, Ikat, there is like something that is not going to happen. And then see number 3. Number 3 is like a 10 of wands over here. So he has a butt like me. A big butt, which is really interesting. So he's not carrying all of that things, but he is planning to bite more than maybe he can chew. So I really think this this is a maybe. This is not a pure yes, because it's asking you, are you able to handle this? So maybe, like, I mean, you said, Barbie, new love. Maybe this new love is hiding something that you don't know yet, right? That there's like something that is happening behind the scenes that you're going to find out, right? Currently there is like a curtain, so the more that you scratch the surface, the more you're going to realize. Somebody might have financial problems, somebody might have temper problems because it's the wands, right? Or somebody might just be a really, really bad project manager and continuously being late, and kind of like stuff like that might piss you off, just to put it plainly, right? So just think about that. Okay guys, I see you're already guessing. Good stuff. Man, like we are starting to kind of like really work this like out, really nice and greased out machine. I really like it. So we are going to open this one. I'm going to prepare the next one here. So let me see, which sign is this? We are talking about Capricorn next. Let me see who guessed Capricorn. Who guessed Capricorn, if anybody? Oh, Kylie did guess Capricorn. Okay, Kylie, it's your turn again. Look, you are freaking on fire today. Okay, Capricorn for Kylie. Whoa, you're getting a 10 of Cups, my lady. So it's really talking about that you need to enjoy connections with your family, connections with the loved ones. There's like some kind of like a wisdom you're able to transfer. Everything jives. So if you need something, this is emotional support. Even if you don't need it, ask for it, because that's something that is going to be happening in the future and helping kind of like things to happening things that even when, let's say, you don't really get along with somebody, when you have those harsh times, these good times and this glue is going to keep it very, very firm, and that is going to be very, very important. So whoa, good for you, Kylie. And this is such a good card. I'm so envious. So let's see, Capricorns. What do we have for Capricorns? I'm still under impression of that Depp and Heard, but I really need to get out of my system over here. So, and we have the World, and we have Seven of Cups. First of all, the World is extremely positive card, and it removes any negativity when it's upright. Vice versa, if it's reversed, it's not a great card to really get. So we are talking here with the World card, talking about some kind of like success, guys. And this is kind of like finally the cycle is accomplished, right? And you are going from this feeling of accomplishment right into what do I do next, which can be a little bit confusing, because it's kind of like a feeling when you eat the cake to feeling which cake do I get right now, even though you still kind of like feel full, right? But there is like some kind of like manifestation of a sort for sure. It can connect with the fixed signs, like Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Over here, right, it shows like these different manifestations of Merkaba. If you kind of like really see it, it's a flower of life as well. It's also talking about, like, I don't know if you can see it, it's not exaggerated. This is like this snake biting its tail, so it's shedding the skin. So there is like some kind of like regeneration happening. So the Seven of Cups again is talking about that state where like we are going in a new direction. There are like many different opportunities, but because of that vast ability to choose, we get confused, and it's kind of like really paralyzing us instead of helping us. And it's kind of like showing here that there is like a wand that clearly kind of like makes things kind of like flow, and it's kind of like, what do I want at this stage? And it's almost like you're making that decision externally versus internally. And internally is kind of like who I am, what do I want. So you need to reassess and maybe need to build on it, because you have jumped from the accomplishing it to the right to the level 7. So which means that whatever you were doing in the previous cycle was really positive. It was really, really done well. But you're going to get yourself confused, because otherwise life wouldn't be really interesting, right? If you're not confused, kind of like what to say, right? All right, so are you guessing, guys? What are you saying here? Ask if Virgo read was about my Cancer ex. You drew 10 wands again. Whoa, interesting, interesting. So, okay, it was 111 here, but you guys guessed this one, and I will get this one. So we have a few guesses. I'll go on the other screen and remove Capricorn. And this one is going to be, okay, it's a little bit better. Aquarius. Aqua girls and boys. Let's see. Scorpio, Scorpio, Cancer. Ikat, Ikat, Ikat is won this round. Aquarius. Okay, Ikat. Let's see. Ikat, you're getting the Fool. It's really interesting because the Fool is very much air, kind of like a sign. Don't let other people talk you out of something that you really want. There is like a process that has been already brewing in you, and it's really telling you to take this leap of faith of some kind of stuff, some new beginning, something absolutely awesome, something where you feel very empowered. It's going to be really beneficial, if nothing else, to kind of like give you a lesson in courage and give you a lesson in ability to lead. So this is the card of a leader. It's a card of like starting new things. So it is very it's very, very good. So I hope this helps here as well. So who did we guess? We got Aquarius. Let me put the timestamp over here. So Aquarius. Let's see. Aquarius. This one was to come out. And you're talking about Six of Pentacles. Very different interpretation in this card. And Nine of Pentacles. So Aquarius, look at this, they're making it 15. Aquarius, be careful about your spending. Very, very important. It almost like looks to me you're like giving money left and right, and maybe dedicating some money to some kind of charities as well. Nine of Pentacles is treating yourself as well. He's saying, okay, if I'm giving it to the others, I can treat myself. I mean, I'm Aquarius. I know like I'm spending just extraordinary amount of money on my gardening thing right now, and in the end might be cheaper to buy my cucumbers. Who knows? So this is really telling me about Six of Pentacles is about sharing and about generosity. It's about being there for the other people, chipping in, kind of like being called upon and kind of like playing that part, which is very, very important, right? Where Nine of Pentacles is us understanding where we reached, understanding the path we followed, like it's some kind of accomplishment and feeling good being on our own. Sometimes like Nine of Pentacles wants to kind of like introduce other people in our lives, but I always see Nine of Pentacles more or less, okay, it's a solo day, it's a spa day, it's a nail day, it's a massage day. It's just like I don't want to talk to anybody, see anybody day. And it kind of like really feels it's going to be very kind of like, I mean, ground level issues, which is all good. Kind of like turning left, turning right, seeing what we need to do. But overall, kind of like treating yourself well, and clearly there's like this connection with the planet, there's connection with the earth. So kind of like we are grounding ourselves a little bit down where we really need to be, versus being always in the clouds and always having the big ideas. This is like about having doable ideas and something that can easily be transferred into something successful, which will succeed, as I see over here. So let's see. Yes, you get. Hopefully, you're Pisces, Aquarius, cusp, Heidi. Like, I mean, I am really close to the cuspy kind of like thingy myself. So this one is next, and after this, it's going to be this one. So let's see. I'm doing good on time today, so I'm pretty happy. So you guys guess. You can do your guesses. And who is this? Gemini. Gemini. Let me see if anybody guessed. Hey, girl. Come on. It's time to like and subscribe, right? Come on. Come. She's sniffing if she should. You wanna come? She's like standing by. You get Gemini, I guess this is still valid because I'm just waiting for the slight delay. Anybody else? Hello? Do you like everybody? Oh, you want to check the birdies. Okay, Ikat, you're on a freaking roll. What's going to show here? What's happening here? Ikat. So you are getting, what is she? Queen of Wands and King of Cups. There is a couple that cannot make it together. This could be your parents if they are divorced. Did you guess knitting yogi as well? Just please raise your hand if that was before I kind of like opened it. You are having a difficulty with two people. They are both reacting in different ways. One is kind of like asking lots of things of you, and it almost looks like in the anger way. And somebody is just being cold and unsupportive over here. So, but it does look like they're a couple of some reason, or a couple of people who for some reason need to relate to each other. So I don't know, the first thought was, are those your parents for some kind of like reason? So not sure. But there are like two people who are literally interfering with your life. So knitting yogi, knitting yogi, knitting yogi. And this one wants to come out. And we are going with 8 of Wands. It was reversed, but 8 of Wands is one of those cards that has the same meaning up and down. And I absolutely love it. Look at that, all the different stages of the butterfly things, and it's kind of detaching and ready to fly. This can talk about some messages, receiving of some messages. That could be love messages, that can be encouraging messages. They might be a little bit delayed. You might be maybe expecting it on a certain day, but it's not arriving, and then arrives like later, where it doesn't kind of like have that big intensity, but nonetheless they are going to contain the same thing, and that's going to be actually making you feel, it will make you feel really good. On the other hand, it can talk about is like that you're having zoomies, and that you're maybe burning yourself down to the ground. So you really have to watch how much energy you're able to expel on the outside. So be very careful. 8 is the number of commitment, and you don't want to kind of run out of gas halfway. So it is very important to kind of like pace yourself in all of that. Okay, so let's see, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Okay, that's why I did, because I have to take in account the delay as well. So this one, we have Queen of Wands and Safi, don't. So there's a tiger. It's momentarily, she's stuck in the screen. And tiger wants to get her down, which can just spell disaster in a second. Right. Wow, look at that. You guys have Queen of Wands and the World, and this is a fantastic combination. It's kind of like feeling energized and feeling, and this is again like if we are talking about Gemini, Johnny Depp, this is going to foretell some very big success and releasing whatever karmically is holding you back. Queen of Wands is also lawyers or somebody who is able to manifest something, right? So it's usually kind of like showing somebody who is really running toward their goal, right? But there's a kitty cat, there's still something that has been unspoken, and the sound that you're hearing is the Safi asking tiger to be petted. And so she literally circles around him for him to push her with her nose or give her a lick. And it's actually the sound of love, if nothing else. Yes, mister. Yes, what you giving your little furry butt. So Geminis really enjoy this period of time, because you're going to feel like ta-da moment, and it's an aha moment, and it's going to be so much smoother right from that point on. And it's really kind of like a time to rejoice and celebrate. And I think this is like coming up to your birthday. You're probably feeling that energy already, and it's really helping you kind of like move forward and progress forward. And so this is the last guess, guys. This is the very last, and let's see who is going to, you're like freaking amazing today with the guesses. So let's see which one this is. Who is Gemini? Gemini. There is Gemini. Lorna is Gemini. Okay. And we have Pisces, Kylie, oh my freaking god, Kylie, you are like hot, 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 hot. So, Pisces, oh my gosh, Lorna, you're going to have such a good time in the next 2-3 weeks. So, what did I say? What did I pick? Pisces, 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 and Kylie picked it up. Kylie, let me just put the Pisces little kind of like face over there. Okay, Kylie, we are talking about, wow, 9 of Wands reversed. What is it? What is that is worrying you? Like you're having certain things that, like, you know, that I'm calling this card wash machine brain, like when we keep spinning in circles and not being able to come up with solution or conclusion, and each time we think we found a solution, something comes up, or it cannot be done for this and this and this. That was like I was just planting some cedars next door, and I put it here, and the snow kind of like what I call it, cleaner is going to come here, is not going to be able, oh, I said never mind, I'm going to put it where I think aesthetically would really work to create privacy. So this is like talking about feeling edgy. This is talking about inner turmoil. Maybe you suffer from anxiety. It's going to be a situation that is asking for it to be finalized, but there's like enormous stress with coming into the situation. So you really need to kind of like know that. So, oh, you're going on a short trip, Lorna. Good for you. So, Kylie, this is a warning card. So, if such a strong card is coming as a warning, like you should really be aware of your own reaction in a situation. And it's just like you need to understand that like you're spinning in that karmic wheel for a reason. Maybe there's like not exit yet for you because you have to wait for your turn, but you clearly want to get off this freaking ride and you're not enjoying it. So that's going to be very, very important to kind of like acknowledge. Okay, guys, and now we are going into, oh, I forgot to put a Capricorn here as a timestamp. Oops, and Pisces. This was Pisces. Was this Pisces, the last one? I think so. So why didn't I put it? I guess I didn't. So I'm going to just guess it and see how this works. Oh, I kept forgetting. So I did Capricorn. I don't know the stamp. I forgot it. Anybody knows after which sign was Capricorn, so I can give it a guess. So we have a Cancer and Sagittarius left. And let's see, so Cancer is going first here, which means that this body here is Sagittarius. So let's go with Cancer. Cancer, let's put your timestamp so I don't really forget all of them. And see what we have. Cancer. Barbie, do you know when it was Capricorn after which sign? Can you please check kindly? Cancer. 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 You have 6 of Cups, and this is like so Cancer, like this is like this loving process. Look at this, like you have been a little boy and a little puppy, and now it's a big boy and a dog. 6 of Cups is about the memories of a sort, and Cancers live in that world where, oh my gosh, and you have a 6 of Cups and you have a 6 of Wands. You're giving yourself a pat on the shoulder, my dear Cancer, over something that has been brewing and has been going on for a while. This is such a loving combination, and it's going to come to you, like the spotlight is going to come to you, victory is going to come to you, but it's coming like in a way that is really bittersweet. It's almost like that there's a legacy of some sort that I'm picking up over here, which I don't know, let's say your father was playing music and now you're kind of like taking this and making it kind of like happen and making rehashing the old songs or something. I don't know, I saw it somewhere, was it Jimmy Kimmel or somebody, where the kid found dad's song when the dad was like a rocker in his teens, and he found it and he said, oh my gosh, this is so good, and it became sensation. So it was really, really amazing in that way. So this is a very light energy, but I said it's a bittersweet because it's somebody who we really cherish, that we feel, I guess, you know, there's like, I mean, history in it, or there is like some kind of inherent sadness, but this sadness is really mixed with happiness, and you should really focus in this happiness. But this is also what is making the success, being able to be vulnerable, being able to express all this process, as this is kind of like connecting you to people and their emotional lives. So that is very, very important, right? So that's kind of like what happened here. And let's go. Which sign was this that I have to read now? That is, did I put it? Which sign am I having here? Okay, see, I even forget this. It's a Cancer. So that was a Cancer. Did I? It was Cancer. So why did I put it here wrongly? I did. Okay, so then the next one is Sagittarius, which is this one. So let's put your little icon here. See, I'm running out of my concentration. Slowly. Sagittarius is, let me put a timestamp, 1:35. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Sugar comes last, as the Germans say. Like, I always have to finish the meal with something sweet, and that's why all Germans are fat. I have German blood, I cannot get rid of that. Okay, Barbie, thank you. So it was Capricorn was after Scorpio. Oh, really? Okay, so Capricorn was after Scorpio. Really? That close? So I'll just guess it here. No, it was the doors after Scorpio. So it was right after the doors, I guess. Possibly. I'm going to put this with a question mark. Ah, if people are looking for it later, they will probably see the icon, and that's the purpose of the icon. So let's see. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Oops. Whoa, we have Queen of Cups and we have a Seven of Pentacles. So Queen of Cups is definitely not your thing, guys, and you're going to be made very emotional, guys, extremely emotional, almost like a freak out emotional, I really have to say. And it's going to be something that is going to make you feel that they're like no foundation, that they're not good for, right, Safi? Huh? Madame, can you talk? So there is like something foundational that I feel over here, something an emotionally based that it's going to have you have a short fuse over here, and it's almost like, forget it, I'm not doing it, F you. I can feel like I'm in big emotional tantrum over here, where you're going to rip out some foundation that maybe has been building, like, I mean, slowly, which is really interesting. This is the only one that is coming up with this kind of a temper over here. Yes, you can prevent it now because you know it, A, and B, they're like minor arcana. So now if you see something happening that you are like feeling that you are boiling, so somebody's really, really going to trigger you emotionally over here. That's beyond kind of like telling over here. So I really have to tell you that you need to then walk away from the situation, because otherwise it may cost you quite a bit over here. So as Barbie is saying, we are going to get angel cards right now for all of you who are still here. So where are my angel cards? Are those angel cards? Yes, they are. So let's go Barbie first. Barbie, you're welcome, Heidi. Spontaneity, just, you know, relax, enjoy, dance. It's really asking you not to be too tense, even though when we saw your reading, it's also asking kind of like, hey, just keep your eye on the ball as well, right? We are going to do the doors as well. doors between Scorpio and Capricorn. Okay, that's what I guessed. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do doors number 2. So the second one is Lorna. Lorna, release. Lorna, there's like something that is on your plate. What is this thing? School bus. Is it something to do with kids? Is there something to do with some obligations? Something that you almost like feel programmed. So maybe it's a time to release this obligation on somebody else. Kylie. 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 Synthesis. Why do you get such a complicated freaking thing? Synthesis. So this is kind of like a rainbow, all the colors, and I think it's very much Sagittarian if you really ask me, because the sign of Sagittarius is like merging two very different kind of like elements into something new, something very beautiful and productive. And I really think this is something like this happening here as well, something high energy, something low energy, and you're making it work in some way or the other. Then Yogi. Yogi, you're getting commitment of some sort, and it really reminds me of your school over here, and it's serious, and it's acknowledgement of a sort over here, so it is very, very important over here. Lynn, you have peace. Just, you know, enjoy the Zen moments, enjoy the surroundings, etc. Kelsey, you have compassion. Make sure to express compassion, because that way you're like opening the entryway for love for yourself, so it always kind of like benefits both ways. So that's really, really good as well. ECAT, was it ECAT? That was ECAT, right? Creative Guru. Did I miss anybody? Adventure. But why is she having a cane over here? Like, almost like it will make me think it's a cross-country skiing, but maybe hiking of some sort. Again, feeling doing things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone. So it is really important. And Chris, if I missed anybody, please guys raise your hand. Balance. So Chris, you know, like, I mean, just walking this tightrope, keeping the balance, and everything will be okay, right? So that kind of like works. All right, so now let's do the doors. Let's put this back. Have a little bit less distractions on the table. And it's so nice outside. I'm really looking forward making another coffee and enjoying myself sitting outside. Okay, so let's close this and shuffle. No, that's the wrong one. How about this one? Okay, guys, think of the question like Barbie instructed you nicely and see what you get. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Okay, so let's go back, put the timestamp for this one. And let's do it. Oh, you got Adventure, ECAT? Chris and I share it. Let me get one for you, ECAT, just to make sure. You got resilience. You got resilience. Don't let any crap come and squish you. That's kind of like creating this muscle memory. So let's see what we have. Like, nobody has 1, and 1 I have 2 cards, and I have the World, and I have like 6 of swords, but reversed. So this is really talking about, the answer is yes, but it's coming back to something that has caused problems, and it's advising to deal with problems or address them in a certain way. And those are very stubborn, persistent issues, and they have to be dealt with in order for this to actually be accomplished. Number 2 is Nine of Wands reversed. Well, Nine of Wands reversed is better than Nine of Wands, so this is a yes. And it's talking about being very clear in your decision what you want, and it's actually, maybe it's not yes, it's all or nothing kind of a thing, that you're just simply not asking for any half solution, but I would lean toward yes over here. And the door number 3, we have Eight of Pentacles reversed. It's really telling me that there are like some details that are being omitted over here, and that can be important. So I tend to think that this might be a no as well, or can be maybe or iffy, because somebody is going to be looking at the things that are maybe not done, and they're going to feel like, well, you know what, you didn't pay attention to it. So just be kind of like, keep mind about that. So I guess this is like being real and getting the real life answer instead of like sugary fluffy answers over here. So I think it was fun today. I got it out of my system, and oh my gosh, I got it really in time. Kind of this is done. So the next time, let me see, when is our next date, is on the 21st. On the 21st we are doing the monthlies. Oh, this is amazing, because we are like right on the change of the sun on that Saturday. And so I don't know, is that Victoria Day in Canada? Because we have holidays. Let me just check. It doesn't matter, I'll still do it. Just see, Victoria Day, May 23rd. May 23rd. So close enough, but it is what it is. So my dear ladies and my dear gentlemen, this is all that we have for today. I really thank you all for being here, for joining, for helping and supporting each other. I also thank Barbie and all the other mods as well for doing such a great job and helping me, like, I mean, kind of like carry on the show while I'm actually really focusing down. So this is all appreciated. So I wish you all great spring, to all of you in Northern Hemisphere, a great fall for those of you in the Southern. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks, and then we are going to be addressing all of that Scorpio thing, and we're going to see where the chips fall and what we have to do it. So all the best to all. Have a beautiful 2 weeks, and I'll be talking to you soon. Namaste.